Hey guys, Ballatw here, back with another VOD review. It's Valorant. We are taking a look at G2 versus Liquid on Split from the Red Bull event, where G2 ended up winning the grand final in 5 maps. But this one was particularly interesting from G2 because, in my mind, they kind of really shut down Liquid on Split. So let's take a look. They start attacking side. Anything interesting about the comps? Not really. I mean, these are pretty standard. Zeke on Sage, Zeke played 3 different agents over the entire tournament, which is really cool for Zeke coming into G2 kind of randomly. Usually you see teams like pick up a new player and it's straight up play Omen or something like that. You think of 100 Thieves and Silence is like, just play Omen, man. That's what Nitro played. But no, David P did play Sage. He mostly played a lot of Sage. So he's still fitting into that same type of role, but it's interesting. Liquid not doing anything special. They have Breach though, so you can see some Scream flash and dashes, stuff like that you have to be aware of. And then playing Killjoy until instead of Cypher. A lot of people are still debating Killjoy versus Cypher on Split, and we'll see how these kind of differences will play out because we have Pith on Cypher. I am streaming this on Twitch. It will go on YouTube. Everybody on Twitch is excited to see the return of the intro. And I also have a couple other videos coming out as well. So okay, so pistol round all 4, and Pith is watching B main, and we just have a smoke here. Okay, I think we have Artis. Yeah, he's throwing a boom bot through. And by the way, I'm mostly going to be reviewing this from G2's perspective rather than Liquid's perspective. So if you're looking for defensive side of stuff, you'll have to probably wait for another VOD review. We'll see a little bit on the second half, but in any case, breaking it up. By the way, 3 frenzies on pistol. Mixwell has armor with it. Everybody else mostly has abilities as well. So I really like how they throw the smoke, and then they slow it. They start to clear up mail a little bit. They trade the boom bot, but then they clear into ropes. And I believe what they're gonna do if they don't get a pick here. Yeah, it's Artis kind of pressuring on this side, seeing if anybody's going to cheat through ropes, get it maybe a pick in that case. But other than that, coming back up into heaven, because you see Ballatw falling back with Omen. So probably going to flash if he has it. It is 400 credits, so that's kind of crazy. But yeah, back into heaven, and they smoked again here on stairs, and the flash is through heaven. Nice. Soulcast is here. Oh, this is kind of crazy. Oh, and they walled heaven as well. Finally, they trade Mixwell onto Cryptix. I can't believe he got 2 kills there, but we had Jet dashing out. Both Jet and Raze dashed out with the flash. And it's a 3 on 4. I really like the push into smoke, and then I love the re-push into smoke. As soon as the smoke is fading, 2 people pushing through, Mixwell and Ballatw at the same time. That's nice. Also, this pistol, the way that they yeah, that was awkward because of Cryptix getting the 2 kills, and their flash not really countering him. That kind of goes over top of him, and yeah, you have to clear that. It's really hard though, especially because they probably got delayed coming out of main. But anyways, I love the fact that they're slow enough with that pistol. I like the pistol didn't work, don't get me wrong, but I like that. It's a really puggable pistol, and you clear ropes so you can't get flanked coming back up this. It's really nice. And then you also have still 2 smokes. The timing works out for 2 smokes from Omen from Ballatw. Okay, more of a it's eco round, but I love when you watch games, especially if you're trying to learn for your own team. It's really important to actually look at eco rounds, not anti-eco rounds. I think anti-eco rounds are kind of boring to watch because usually it's pretty easy to win. But eco round ideas are really important to have because you could win rounds. You could win rounds because you just have a better idea than the other team. You know? What up, Cactus? Moon Raccoon's Cactus. Okay, so more of a 1-3-1-ish default. I don't really like going mid, but I like that Ballatw just double smokes for himself. He's completely countering the one-way that Link is throwing, and yeah. Gets the orb. I'm surprised they give it to Patatek actually, because the Omen ult's a little weaker. But anyways, Pith's still watching B main. Everybody else is working up mid.
Then it unlocks the rest of the stages. So again,
and they don't have mid smokes. That's important too. This is another reason why I don't like this either, because like if Liquid just decides they want to just peek mid, which is kind of favorable, then they're kind of dead, right? Especially because they don't have freaking Buckies, bro. Still clear it out. This is really passive from Liquid. Really passive.
This veto was very, very dangerous for G2.
It's actually insanely passive.
Certainly not there yet. Scream. Let's see how dedicated you are. A little bit of a different angle for him.
Yeah, gets away. Come on. Oh my god. That's so funny.
A was a little lighter defensive sort of approach from the defending side. It wasn't heftily kind of garnered.
Okay, so they just come back. That's the power of this is an eco round, and I didn't like them going mid, but it is showing off the power of controlling mid. Like, it is ridiculous. Because if you get Rose control and you get up to melee control and they're not peeking, the only way to rotate is back through here. So the info gained is really hard to really do anything from Liquid. I think Echo's flashing through here should have made the call that they weren't actually going through. Like, he only saw Scream falling back. And yeah, I guess Scream going ramp kind of tells him, oh shit, they're still coming A. But yeah. Yeah, really good rotations.
Taking his utility away, at least his turret now.
They have freaking their rays all the way down mid. Like, oh, if they come back, I'll spot them. But no, bro, they're already through heaven. That's a big kill. I like this. So I would love if they just sat on this wall, ready if somebody comes around. That's the old Glock strats. All four are in spawn right now. I don't really like pushing that, but I do like the idea of 4 people in freaking spawn. Oh. Wait, what? Patatek TP'd out of spawn into the smoke on the bomb and creep through. No chance. What?
Brilliant play then.
Are you serious? Okay.
It all lined up so well. The conversion gets denied. Way to do it, but I want to just say
what?
Did not look pressured then. I love.
Yeah, I swear Cryptic could see him, bro. He's like looking up though, so the field of view is Fortnite, bro. Oh no. 1v2 to classic. That's crazy.
And again, talk about G2
right.
and the
Buckies, no.
How can they perform under pressure? Because it's not a situation we've seen G2 in very often at all. And again, to lose overtime in the way they did with that.
Okay, back to basically the same thing they did on Pistol, except they switched Zeke over here, and they have Pith throwing the camera. This camera spots heaven, and I believe top ramps. Hopefully we get to see it later on. But then 3 in mid with the smoke ropes. Very typical ideas, and yeah, dude, Scream's thing is cool. He can run out and hide behind the box, and then he like late peeks to see if anybody's like trying to peek in the rope smoke. But given that there's a rope smoke there, that's just kind of awkward. And then Soulcast like tries to peek against. He's like trying to peek to save Mixwell, but Mixwell's safe, man. He's dead.
Now first blood drawn very quickly. Liquid lose 1.
Yeah, and well, Bucky FC out there, probably happy seeing this. Couple of those shotties coming out to play, so...
It's like a light buy from Liquid, by the way.
Let's see if G2 can keep this clean. Just the wall for the cross. Cryptics. Now, we saw this position being a problem for a couple of teams, not actively clearing it well enough. You can see the spam very dedicated here. They still need to check it, and they do. That's why I like Patatek right now.
Okay, nice. Really... Couple things on the execute before we go to the main thing, the post plant. So Zeke is here. They did the mid stuff and they instantly come back. Like, this is pretty fast after a default, right? It's not even necessarily like holding a default or anything like this, but they do start as a default. And then coming back to B, Zeke's throwing the wall. And what I like, first thing is Patatek only has 1 smoke because of how fast this is. He doesn't have the cooldown yet. And look how he uses it. He actually uses it on the freaking turret,
But let's see if G2 can keep this clean.
which I'm very shocked about. Then you also have the boom bots like trying to clear this close angle, whatever. This smoke from Scream, you're like, what the hell is this? But he's dashing into it. Not Scream, sorry. Mixwell. I'm gonna mix them up literally all the time.
Just the wall for the cross.
Nade on main, and you also have a flash right behind this
Cryptics. Now we saw this
at the
position
same time.
for a
They get delayed, and I really like how they don't actually expose themselves to heaven. They're not like stepping out and exposing themselves to heaven, where they could, yes, they could get peeked after this, even though they flashed it, even though they naded it, and double peeked. Instead, they just spray the crap out of backside, which is really nice. And then Zeke is on top of his wall. I don't like how he's peeking by himself. I would have liked, maybe, actually, no, Scream is here. Don't forget, Scream dashed across, and he's also peeking with Zeke. So this heaven is really nice.
actively clearing it well enough. You can see the spam very dedicated here. They still need to check it, and they do. That's why I like Ballatw right now. He is being really clean with his gameplay.
Too close for the right clip.
Fnatic is an eco cobra, bro. Look at this man. Go Fnatic.
Just a form.
Go. All right, let's get the rest.
So if Liquid can't buy, they have
Nice. This is a nice exit spot. Just pushing up into spawn. It's very nice. Don't push past this, especially versus ecos. Like, super important.
the opportunity to string together.
Super important.
SMGs.
Yada, whatever. Don't really care what happens. Okay, finally.
Maybe sheriffs, but it gives them
Wait, is
around
this a
to keep them
gun round?
alive,
No, this is
but it
eco.
gives them a round in hand.
Still?
Definitely works.
Camera. We get to see it, yes.
Awkward.
Very standard. But I do want to show you like how it sees both. Yeah, here we are. Top A ramps, so you can see anybody crossing. And the timing will work, so you can see them crossing, so you got to be careful of that playing against Cyphers. And then pretty much all of heaven. And you can tag them off, shoot them through the smoke if they're peeking the smoke and stuff like that.
Second time's a charm.
Trapping the back. Okay, so we have another dash across, and it looks like, yeah, Paranoia coming out into sight for Scream to push into sight.
It looks like just a clean.
Very
right
solid.
take. Probably a good idea, considering you're not sure what you're up against buy-wise. You don't want to split and get overwhelmed by some roaming pack of pistols. So
I low-key like artists peeking in when the smoke is landing. And then there's nades going back there, slows, and a wall too. So this is just sight free,
coming out
whatever.
from, G2.
But I love the idea of Mixwell dashing with padded text flash. I'm pretty sure I said Scream again,
Mixwell gonna pop the ult
but hey, you know, it is what it is.
for now. needs to kind of get some of these guns away.
Okay, the idea for G2, especially that they have the wall down and artists up top holding heaven, this is solid to make sure that they can fall back into ramp, because you don't really want to be playing all in A site. You probably don't want to be playing everybody outside of A,
Some sort of damage thing.
but it's really hard to break now if you control at least one side of the three that the people can come from retakes, you know?
So perfect there.
So nice.
Exactly.
Negate
It's,
that.
you're not getting anything out of this. They're not being able to find any.
Okay, innocent eco. Probably skip ecos in the future unless there's something super interesting.
This is looking well considered by G2.
But I want to get in the flow of VOD reviewing a little bit more.
Artists will find another. He will
Damn, they're hard peeking.
find him with the ghost, but trades coming through good. A bit of a
They're hard peeking this, okay? Next round.
He's got his ultimate. Zeke's one away from the revive.
Finally
Mixwell
gun
just
round.
used the blade storm.
Finally a real gun round.
Again, the own ultimate. Not an awful lot to do.
Okay, they're going for it again.
Rotation here on defense.
Except they have, instead of Mixwell knives, they have artists ults.
Alright, show me the moves, Ardis.
Oh, Zeke's throwing a slow for heaven. There's also smoke here from Patatek. No flash this time, just smoke spawn. And he's ulting. You remember how he grabbed the orb early last time? Very nice. And also, if you're a Raze player and you're ulting and you're trying to take a site like this and you're not bouncing up and down like artists, like it's not like you get inaccuracy. Like, might as well bunny hop.
It's gonna be sweating bullets
Okay?
here, yeah.
Might as well bunny hop. Just makes it that much more impactful. I love the ults, especially if it's timed as the smoke has fallen, because then you can kind of tuck behind it and your peak will come faster than it would normally. So if there is a player playing screens, like falling off of ramp because they know that there's a take coming with artists' satchels and whatever, and hearing the ults, and yeah, that could be really nice. Mixwell gets in, plants for heaven. So this is a really nice spot to plant for if you have cover, if you have somebody covering, which is artists in this case. And then we still maintain Zeke and Pith. Trapwire here. We still maintain ramps control.
Is it? No, Link, it's not.
Nice
Overwhelmed,
spam.
but Zeke even finding Eccles, this is not looking good unless
Nice
he can do it
spam.
Again, the man's already proven how on point he is today.
Look how hard they're fighting back ramp. Look how hard they're fighting back ramp. Important. This is the same concept. Also, Ballatw falling off of the spawn smoke is really nice. Now we can go play site after maybe looking for an opportunity for a pick. But now these guys, at this point, the timing is that they will be clearing this very, very methodically rather than being like, oh crap, they're trying to take site. There should be nobody here. The ult is nice. I really like it. But yeah, hard fighting back on this. And look at that dash. That's so nice. This is making a crossfire instantly for Mixwell and whoever's coming up ramp. It's literally a 3-to-1 crossfire instantly because of one dash. Otherwise, it would have been one person running out after another, unless you backstep each other and whatever. But solid. This is the same peak that Scream did. I'm just stopping on it real quick because you can see the power and how Artist plays it is nice. Artist jumping across, making sure that, if somebody's opping an angle or doing something like knives like this, you're not going to get one tapped. If you slow walk out this, yeah, you will get one tap. But also notice how you can jump in to the corner here from Artist and be kind of avoiding this entire situation, being safe by jumping across. Yeah, satchel out, whatever. Nice. So that's the first time you see Liquid actually take a decent amount of map control. And this is against a default here. Oh, Mixwell switches it up. Instead of going back into mid with the 1-3-1 that they were doing before, it's now a 1-2-2. Artist and Ballatw still in mid, still throwing the smoke ropes. Yes, pretty normal. Start to condition these types of things. Artist has been throwing his drone on those as well, so we'll have to pay attention to that. Same camera from Pith. I'm surprised to see Pith not really doing much right now. Maybe he's like checking camera in case they smoke. Maybe you can get a tag on a player playing Heaven. Maybe.
Showing other than that peak really, and Artist is kind of baiting them in, so it's a satchel down and lets him know he's there.
I love this from Mixwell. He just tucks his way into the corner and sits there. Okay. If anybody comes over here, yes, he'll timing them. To be honest, he could timing Scream right now. Because Scream has already kind of cleared most of it. Yeah, Scream is going to come walk all the way out, so maybe it takes a little while more to timing. The other thing I really like is how Scream he tries to peek out of ropes, goes back to Heaven, and then it's like, okay, let me rotate back because my role is still to cover ramps in case they do cross like they did.
I don't know if he's going to expect Mixwell so far ahead. It looks like he's checking for it, but Mixwell playing the time really nicely. Very patient approach from him.
Here's the timing attempt. They're creeping back over. Ballatw is here, and okay, didn't work. Imagine Sheriffs for one shot. How mad Mixwell would have been. Imagine. He would have been so salty. Okay, that's an Omen smoke that he crossed back with. Okay, first audible that we're kind of seeing ever here. Don't forget too, the way that Liquid smoked off of this, they kind of gave up control of mid. Now they don't really have access to that, which is a little bit of a faster rotate. They did not push him off of ropes. They did not push him off of mail. So they don't really know what's going on there. Oh, I didn't realize that Zeke used his wall already. I wonder why. Did he get orb? No, he didn't even get orb. Scream repositioning again. This is just brutal. That's just brutal, bro. But it is a fake. It's a fake. It's a fake. Zeke has no wall, though. I feel like this fake would have been so much better sold if Zeke had wall. And now it's two people hitting A. It's Ballatw and Artist. Nice. Okay, so I love how they send Sage on the fake side to get this res off. But again, like I just feel like this doesn't work because they don't have mid control. Look at all this. Everybody's rotated. It has worked in terms of calling them. Yes, you still have Link here.
Yeah, Link needs to stay really patient here, and he has. That's good work. That's going to at least be a potential idea.
And the flash, and now they know. They set down the lockdown, and now they know. I feel like, yeah, the time is kind of awkward enough for them that they kind of have to go.
They can re-rotate off the back of this, and they can have a favorable fight on the site if they're quick enough.
Why? Trying to run in? Yeah. Dude, the rotate is just so much faster. The rotate is just so much faster. There's no chance. There's no chance.
on that playback around from the rotation.
So just the spawn rotate compared to all the way attack spawn. Like if they have Suras, yes, maybe, but more importantly, you want the ropes to be able to access these types of fakes. If you don't have that, I don't necessarily see this working. Although to be fair, I feel like a double fake would have actually worked, but even still, like it's just stupid. They had the lockdown too. Like there's no chance. Nobody's gonna call a double fake in that situation. It's way too risky.
Again, I was
At the pro level, does the team with the first kill almost always win? No, absolutely not. It depends. Like some kills can be more impactful. Like if you lose your Omen, for example, you don't get if you lose your Omen on attack side, you don't get smokes to be able to take the site. That is a detriment. But every character has different abilities, and it's really easy, especially like losing. So here's an important aspect. Somebody asked in chat if the first kill is like winning the round. Basically, no, because on attack side, losing one is not that big of a deal compared if you lose one on defense, because you still have to split the sites up as defense. So you could still force a 4v2 on a specific site. Losing one on defense is usually more impactful, but still, like the ways that you win rounds, usually you could shut down a site 2 versus 5. That's very, very common. So even if you're a man down, you can still be in a situation where it's 2 versus 5 and you can still win. Was it like that in CS? No. The first kill does dictate the pace of the round. You'll see that with G2, actually, the way that they run their default. Look, Mixwell's not opping, right? And he switches back to playing ramp. He did play ramp last time. He snuck up in through, but now he's working these picks. And you'll see that G2 loves to play off of their picks and push the site that they get picks on.
FPS games very similar to this. The attacking side op can be incredibly hard to use, but you're seeing exactly why Mixwell is such a god with this weapon, and he knows.
I'm actually shocked to see him go across this one way, but it's not as good of a one way, especially against an op that you want. That's why you see Lynx not really peeking it, especially now that they know Mixwell has the op. But yeah, ramp control now down. I don't necessarily know what the idea here was for Scream. He can fall back with a dash, so kind of makes sense, I guess. But they're still peeking up. Artist with his boombot, he's already used it, and he's used his nades. I'm not sure where he uses nades, but anyways, he loves to use it to kind of clear mail and push off players playing outside of mail. But he's by himself now in mid. Everybody else off of that pick immediately give it up. I'm surprised here to see Eccles already peeking B. That's really good info.
You can see artists making those mid rotations even.
That's really good info, but there's nobody rotated here. Cryptix is so late.
Heavy swing out.
Okay.
Link good for one, but
remember their old A execute. Remember their old A execute where they flashed from Patatech into site? They don't do this time. I'm not sure if Patatech uses his flash, but in any case, I love that the fact that they go 3 here instead, because Mixwell is controlling the crap out of ramp, just controlling the absolute crap out of this. And so they want a 3 versus 1 potentially on site. They still smoke back site, still wallet, very, very common. That's what we're going to see every time. But if they didn't send Patatech there with them, if they sent with the flash normally, like they might go down 2-1 right there. Link might get 2 and be able to escape as well. Because Pith is nowhere near, Mixwell's nowhere near, Artist is nowhere near. Actually, Pith was with them. I have to remember that. Instead, they go 2 for 1, or 1 for 1, which is so good. And they save. You think it's worth to peek out of B main for early info in the pro scene? Absolutely. Absolutely. The issue here is that Liquid or G2 is playing a default, so it's really hard to do that without some sort of constructive idea. Maybe they could do a flash and dash with Breach and Scream. I think that is a very viable way to kind of interrupt this default. And I think they kind of need to do that because we're seeing the theme. It's always on these gun rounds. 1-3-1, 1-2-1, or 1-2-2. Like these types of ideas that G2 is doing over and over and over. Now they're switching up Mixwell. Mixwell's basically been the float on this default, by the way. Every single time, Mixwell's just been going A main. Sometimes he does mid, sometimes with a rifle, sometimes with not. Like sometimes they do a knives execute. But typically, Mixwell's switching it up. Now he's opping. Definitely going to want to switch it up even more. That's the difficulty against trying to peek for info from Liquid. That's why this is so hard to play against. Drone again. Nice. Soulcast breaks it for Scream. See, this is the nade he probably is throwing. That's a little short-sighted. I think if that was deeper up, I think the idea is to try to swing into mill and clear this angle. But in any case, they back off. No
I'll
pick
stay
this time.
unscathed for the time being, but I love this.
No
Every
pick
time
this
they
time.
show some mid presence. They're trying to bait out this rotation.
And they just go back towards B. It's always very quick adjustments from G2 compared to something like you would see from Summit FC where their default's a lot slower and they start executing with like 40, 30 seconds on the round. G2's always boom, boom, boom. They clear, they get map control, and then they go into an execute. No, I think it was during the NA VCS. Okay, it's the same thing. Link, nice 2 kills. What was that second satchel? Was that just a flub, or is there a 5-head idea here that I don't get? Maybe chat can help out. Maybe if you know in the comments, you can let me know. I'm guessing it's just a mistake, but maybe there's a 5-head idea. The satchel out and throw a satchel past. Link up on the top. Still, look at this though. The way that they clear this, yes, we go by with Artis, but Zeke's on top of his wall, and now we swing with Mixwell trying to clear this out. Zeke should be able to trade. Yes. And he goes up top. Usually Mixwell should have already dashed across like we saw in the last one, but you don't have to do the same types of things over and over and over. I think maybe Mixwell uses dash in mid too earlier. Maybe not though. In any case, Zeke just got soul cast by peeking over his wall through the smoke. Like this is a smoke that Patatech threw.
Zeke finally trades, but the kills actually come through for G2's favor.
Also, they don't hear the turret. Last time Patatech smoked the turret, maybe that was because it was, I think it was an anti-eco round for them. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. I like the little jump spotting from Zeke. Staying close to the wall and jump spotting rather than just full peeking from the backside of the wall where it's a headshot angle. Sure, it's like a decent, kind of advantageous angle. But I much prefer jump spotting for info. Now you know what's happening. Now you know Scream's lurking down the thing. And it also gives the timing to Pith. Like, just beautiful. It says, Pith, okay, he's down the ropes. Like, that helps Pith make an understanding of what's going on. And now Crossfire backside. Zeke. Oh, okay. Picked up the op. Okay, I like it. I like it. Do you not want having control when going B, or is that bad? I was thinking for post plant. I mean, you could split B. You could split B. We saw that on pistol round, right? That's what they did. But that's just not the idea here. It was a 4-1. So they went 4 B main, and they went 1, which was Pith lurking through mid. If you've ever played Dust 2 on CSGO, it's the same type of idea. Go 4 through cat, 1 late lurk long to get these flanks exactly like Pith did. So you do not need having control to win the round in post plant. Of course not. But it helps. So Pith going back there is really nice. So back to the 5A. See, the one thing I don't like about this default from G2 is that they're not showing any conditioning ideas towards A. They're not, for example, throwing a Cypher Cage here every round. And that makes it so that when there is an A hit, they kind of know what's going on. The only thing that they're kind of conditioning is the Cypher camera, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the only information they're giving towards A. And on defaults, you do want to show a little bit of information every round. I think that's kind of crucial. For example, the drone here from Artis. That's information that's like, okay, they're running the default. And because of that, you can do things like barrel through mid. I think we'll see that in a later round because I tuned into the tail end of this game and I saw them do the strat where you could barrel through mid with your drone and they'll be like, what the hell? They never pushed with the drone before, right? So something like caging before they do their 5A execute would be nice. But Scream does have the knives, so let's expect and let's see if there's knives and flash and dash with Omen with Patatech. I said Scream again. Mixwell, fucking Mixwell, dude. Get it through your skull, bro. Mixwell. Jesus. Scream is not the only jet. Like, come on. Sorry, it froze. Let me back up real quick. Nice. Okay. So on top of the plants here, throwing the smoke, this is a nice dash spot. If you are jets, learn your dash spots and learn your cloud bursts for your dash spots. This gives you the protection, makes it much harder to exactly see what the hell's going on. And you could peek from any side. You could clear this angle, for example, really nicely within the cloud burst without expecting it at all. All of a sudden your teammate's like, oh, jet dashed. That's the only call he can make that's feasible in this situation because he's about to get flashed. His turret's seeing stuff. You have satchels going off. So this is the only reasonable call he could make. And if there was somebody playing behind this, I mean, come on, man. How can you? How can you? DJ, thank you for the 271,000 viewer host. No chance, bro. No chance. So it's not the same flash and dash as before. Last time, Mixwell was quick into the site, right? And getting across. This time, he's on the left side. Okay, slightly different. Slightly different. Screams on top. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, Mixwell. Oh, no.
Players in body bags, and now it is just Zeke.
Okay, well, GG's. So, nice spot from Scream. He plays up Heaven. This is a rotation, by the way. He comes over because he hears the knives. Okay, they're gonna do the thing. They're gonna do the thing where they flash and dash on A. Like that's something that Scream already has in his head. So he plays Heaven, and then the nice dash across to get back into with his teammate Cryptix, and a different angle that they kind of have to adjust for. Really, really nice play. Also notice how they gave the op to Zeke this time. Zeke saved the op from last round. Mixwell died. And because Mixwell has knives, they're like, okay, might as well give this to Zeke. Let's do the flash and dash. And cool. So now I know that Zeke's the other opper if they do want it. And he will pick it up. I'm wondering like what Zeke did in this round. Because I feel like he's missing, they're missing slows or something. No, they're not really. I'm guessing he did the same slow and now he's just holding Heaven. Okay, cool. I guess not the greatest. The op is slow. That's something to realize. The op is very, very slow, so it's not added to fast executes with your dashers, for example. I do like putting the op on ramp control. This is the same idea as before, holding the ramp control so that when they do get sight, they can come back out. But obviously this round goes to freaking absolute trash. Absolute trash. By the way, that's why, for example, Wardell is really strong on attack side op, because they can do these fast executes and Wardell can still be in there because he plays Jet, you know? So they kind of counter how difficult and how slow ops are on fast executes by putting it on an agent with speed, with mobility. Mixwell back on the op this time because he doesn't have knives. So he's the main. Okay, back to the 1-3-1. Although Patatech smokes and goes back to Zeke right away. So that's slightly different. And also I do love how Mixwell holds this angle instead of not with like what he was doing with his gun, because we have seen Scream try to tuck his way into this corner, and he also picked Soulcast from this spot earlier. So they know that Liquid likes to peek this. It's not just the generic, let me hold a random angle. It's, I know Liquid like to play here, so let me hold it. Nice. So this is something that's changed on New Split, where you can't spam this corner anymore, but it was impossible to play this corner before. Okay, so what I was saying basically, okay, so New Split, you can't spam this corner, but instead of just trying to spam like you used to, we throw a nade in and spam through the smoke. He has to get away from that nade. If he is tucked in that corner, he has to get away from that nade, and he goes in the spam. Artist is able to pick Scream off through that, and from there, they have an advantage. Now they have this type of thing. Hammer, you were asking before. GM Hammer was asking before. Does this game give you an advantage if you win the first pick? In this situation, 100%. Because, again, attack on defense doesn't necessarily mean they'll win the round, because look at this setup from Cryptix and Soulcast. It is pretty badass. They have everything. It's just utility covering main. And then Cryptix and Soulcast have a really good crossfire. So let's see how they deal with this. My guess is if I was G2 calling here, I would probably revert to that same type of flash from Patatech up into Heaven that we saw in Pistol Round. But it looks like Patatech's going through with the rest of them up into Heaven. Good spot. Love the spot. Mixwell's trying to hold it. Artist, nice. Okay. I love how they clear this. They send Mixwell holding this left side. And Artist crouch peeks around the corner over here. I'm sure they cleared this corner before from Mail. And Artist crouch peeks around the corner and peeks Planter as Mixwell is done, and he moves over to the side. So they double peek at the same time on top of stairs. This is really, really nice. And Patatech is holding the flank. Pith coming through with the spike. Here we go. We have a flash, looks like into Heaven. They smoke it as well. and we go from here. Mixwell diving down onto Cryptix. Very nice. And the dash, it's literally an off dash, no chance. That's actually so funny. It doesn't work out. Little lag there. Oh my god. What the hell, bro? That was crazy. And the res. Power of Sage. Power of Sage. Yes, sir. One thing to note is that Zeke came over his wall like he always does, but he jumps over it because he wants to help on this offensive. This literally, if Zeke is a little bit faster and he doesn't have to worry about A main so much and clearing out the turret and whatnot, if he is a little bit faster, Cryptix dies because Zeke's over the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nice. Timing would have worked out very, very, very well. And of course, he has the res, so it's very smart to do this to get back to any place where it would have been traded. We have ults and flashes coming in. This is awkward, but Zeke pushes spawn. Brutal. Very brutal. Very brutal.
Not enough damage done, and Zeke holding that cross like a champion. Eccles needs this.
Yeah.
He needs it clean, and the timing could be awful on this. He tries to isolate, and Mixwell has
A gamble from Zeke, to be sure, but it's nice, especially once they see the utility coming from stairs in heaven. Once that happens, you can make the educated play to push into to be spawned because you know where the two players kind of are. It's better not to sit all day. So, ooh, nice little extra camera to spot all the way down the screens. I like it. Good to have Cypher switching up cameras. But we're back to a 1-2-2, and we are in second to last round. So back to default. Finally, we see that same smoke that we saw from Liquid in mid. This starts to take a little control back. This battles back against the default, taking control over all spaces of the map. But if you're backing off of it and you're only doing it one time, we also have a smoke be made. Nice. Okay, Scream. Yes, playing with it. But Zeke slows him and they back off again. So we're left with exactly the same map control that we would have anyways. And G2 can play off of that now. Nice. He hits the wall shot. Yeah, he tagged him. Smoke heaven. Flash through sight. That is indicative that they might be flashing and dashing, so you have to be aware. But no, they're not. This is kind of awkward. This is the first time I'm seeing Zeke really lag behind, and they're kind of walking through and working picks. I like this, though. This is a slight mix-up off the default, right? You start to do things to work picks. This is obviously, they're long gone from the default, but I would love to see, for example, Mixwell walking through A main with a flash and just trying to creep a pick like he did onto Eccles. These types of random peaks are really nice to add into your defaults. But we are going to be hitting A. What the hell, Scream?
Indeed, yeah. Scream. Trying to find something.
Where is Zeke?
Showstopper pop from Artist now. Actually, the flash comes through. He's got a...
What? This is the first round that I see really, really fall flat from G2. Every other round, even the ones they lost, it's like, okay, there's still an idea here, but I don't know what Zeke's doing. I think he's really worried that they're throwing a one-way here, so this should be kind of clear that there's nothing to be made. I think he's worried that there's going to be a B main push, especially after Scream peaked it, but yeah. And the other thing, too, is they're all kind of creeping out here. I really think that there was like an idea. They're like, okay, let's work a pick. And then Artist is like, I have ult. Let me just ult in. And like, then it's kind of disjointed. It's like, yeah, let's go. But Zeke is completely on the other side of the map. These kind of audibles do happen. NA starts at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Holding the line effectively here over on A site, and Patatech down to a lick of HP.
Oh.
All the way over to B, but he actually comes back. The reset. He's greeted by a nade, and that's the
okay. Maybe there's a little bit of a deeper idea there. Maybe there's a little bit of a deeper idea from G2. Maybe because they have Patty ult, because they have Omen ult. It's like, let's show a lot of presence. Let's try to push into A, and then ult back to Zeke. Maybe there's that idea, but obviously it just doesn't work. Okay.
Stepping up big time, to be honest.
Okay, now we're slowing at the beginning of every round. I'm not sure if he was already doing that. He could have been. We haven't really seen it. And we have Artists and everybody else. We're abandoning the default for a second. 2-3 split B. Looks like what's happening. They throw that smoke. Okay, it's Scream. The drone is here, and they're following up on it. This is what I was talking about before, okay? These conditioning ideas, this drone is coming every round. The smoke is coming every round in mid. If they do these things, we're not necessarily ready to fight against them, although I do really like the position from Scream, and I really like Soulcast's nade. This should be brutal, and it is. It is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Same idea from Zeke, although in this case I don't like it as much because we have Pith who's going to be left on an island if Zeke does go over top of that wall. But the idea is to pinch in any case. Maybe Pith can come over the wall as well, but that's hella risky. The idea is nice. I love this fast pace 2-3 split at B after running defaults. It's super solid, especially because you've conditioned that drone, you've conditioned that smoke. I do think that the fact that they ran behind it with no real flashes or anything, Ballatw ran all the way up. Like, maybe if they're gonna do that, they should have Patty throw the flash here and join here, maybe have Pith come back over this way. I don't know. In either case, I still like the idea. I still really like the idea. If you're Liquid, you're seeing this smoke is thrown every round. This drone is thrown every round. I know I've said that, but what are you doing after that? Usually Scream's like, yeah, let me back over this way, right? So if you can still force that to look the same, then there's the same, there's much more value in it. Much more value in it. Okay, we're switching halves. G2 now is on defense, and Liquid is on attack. So I want to show you. This is actually a very perfect example, and I took these notes on the game when I watched it at first. So this is a very perfect example of the power of defaults because Liquid does not default, okay? And you see how G2 abuses them. They closed this game out. It was already a really solid attacking half, but they closed this game out because they abused the shit out of Liquid not defaulting. They absolutely abuse it. And you can see the ideas that Liquid could have done that might have helped them and how they played. Because don't forget, the way that these happened, every single time is like, okay, we take mid control or we take ramps control, and then we go from there. We do something else. We go into B or whatever. And usually it led to a pick. Sometimes it led to just executing, but they have no clue, so the rotates are really, really slow. Look how fast the rotates are for G2 in this game. So they took a little bit of mid control, but look at this. Look, I mean, you can already see in this round. They had the wall down. Yeah, sure, they tagged it a little bit to show that they were in mid, but they left it up. That means they're not going to come through mid. That means the only possible play they can make through mid is Link TPing over, okay? And Scream takes the gamble to peek B main. Remember the question earlier, the person saying, is it ever worth the peek B main in comp? Yes, and this is why. Scream peeking B main gives the info that they are not B main. They're nowhere here. Yes, they could still be outside of mid. We don't necessarily know that, but I'm sure Sage is kind of shouldering this as well. Shoulder peeking to get the little bit of info. Now, they know they're not mid, especially because Scream is going to peek Ramen, and they're already rotating. Look, he's leaving ropes. Pith is over here. Ballatw is here. He's shouldering. He has a flash ready. Everything is more available to them simply because they know the info. Scream with his flash dash or his smoke dash. Nice. Solid. But that's the only thing they get. They're not even through yet. Artist is a psychopath. That's crazy. Nice, Pith. Watching the flank there. Again, that's all because of info. And they're stuck in the site. They're absolutely stuck in the site. I love the dash spot from Mixwell here. It keeps him safe from everywhere. It keeps him safe from this angle that you have to clear coming out of screens. It keeps him safe from anybody in sight. Sure, he's peeking sight right now, don't forget, but he tucked himself in the base of the plant spot. And notice how I'm gonna go back just to show you this real quick. Look, he's clearing this. The one spot that he really has to fight, he clears this for his team with this dash. And now he could start to fight sight with his teammates. Literally such a safe dash spot for Jet. Remember that one. This is even useful in ranked. And you could get these really nice angles there. Sure, there could be a guy map, but if you're not peeking specifically that from map, you're usually peeking heaven. You're not going to be able to actually crossfire. So the info play I was talking about, Pith, knowing, okay, they have nobody on site. They already saw Scream actually kill this guy, so which was Patatek. Patatek calls, hey, he could push screen. Pith watches flank. Simple as that. They know nobody can come ropes. Wall was broken. They rotated through there. Sure, it could come really, really late, but they also peeked it and Mixwell. Mixwell comes through and clears the bottom mid, so they know everything. They literally know everything of the round. It is nice to always note like which agents are playing where. On Split is somewhere where you do switch things up a lot, but same setup that Liquid played for G2, Mixwell and Patatek, Jet and Omen.
The previous setup or this previous set that they played, but again, look at the speed and Soulcast is just running it through.
Okay, Soulcast, that was awkward.
Interesting.
Yeah, so putting this wall just gives you all the info in the world. It's just so nice. And now nade comes in from Artist. They double peek. This is what I was scared about. Remember that eco round that G2 actually won, where they went in through mid. This is what I was scared about. How easy it is for G2 to peek them. Mixwell just got shit on. So defaulting is usually when you spread out along the map as attack. You spread out along. Defaults are, you know, there are things on defense that are called defaults as well, but it's different. So when I talk about a default from the attack perspective, it's what you normally do to start a round. It's called default because that's the normal thing to do. And it's spreading on the map specifically, like you put people all over the map so that you can make sure you know the information that's what's coming by. If they do try to do something aggressive, you're able to spot them. And it's just doing the same thing over and over. And then you can kind of adjust based off of that. That's what a default strat is. I can get a little bit more in depth. But the reason why G2 really dominates in this game on defense is because Liquid does not default, because they don't get the information, because they don't kind of establish presence on the map. And you get to rotate really easily as defense if you do things like this. Look at this. Flash in from Patatek. Zeke is going to push. What does he do from it? Is there slow? No. Straight up wall. Straight up wall. Okay, sure. Liquid is working in the mid, but they have no presence B. They have absolutely no presence B. Look at what these guys are going to do now. Look at what these guys are going to do. If you had a default, you have somebody here. Yeah, this is not going to work. You're going to see them. Sure, you might win the fight. Then it's awkward, but at least you know the information. Okay, they didn't push anyways. Thought they were going to push. I think as this wall gets broken, they have the idea like, oh, let's go. But I think Artist gets enough information. No, they're coming back.
All 5 members now coming back.
They're coming back. Mid control is not established. They kind of leave it. It does force these guys back. They're not comfortable peeking mid anymore because there could be people there. But look at this. Yep. Did I say scream again? Artist and Mixwell. They know they're not coming A this time. They know, especially now with the drone broke. They know they're back in B main. They know literally everything. It's going to be a mid or B split. That's why Scream has to come back up towards rope. But look, Artist goes, continues. They know what's going on. They know what's going on.
Now it does look as though they're trying to hit a bit of a rotation here, so it does come down to that Omen play towards middle from Patty.
This is nice from Patty.
Phrase does try and come in here, which is Soulcast on the other side, but by this point, Mixwell's on.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Thank God! Whew! My heart. So they have 4 players on B now. They have 4 players because logically, this is the only play they can make, especially now that Patatek kills Soulcast. I actually thought that. I think Patatek thought that there's going to... You might have even seen him switch his crosshair back to the other side because he's like, oh, somebody's going to peek me with him. But Soulcast is by himself. That's really awkward in and of itself. Soulcast probably should have been lurking, waiting for the push to happen and then come through. But in any case, they come through. Sorry about the lag. Let me push this up. Yeah, see his crosshair goes to the left. Artist falls back. It could have been a fake. Yes, they could be coming through sewers, but no. At this point, they've fully confirmed it's coming through. And wow, that's a mistake. That's actually a nice dash from Scream. He dashes across. There was a little bit of a misplay, I think, from Mixwell. Sprays his full clip. Hits the reload, that's when the dash happens. Yeah, just unfortunate. Impossible.
Combined for 3.
Impossible.
That's actually going to put the man advantage over towards Liquid here.
So same backstab. That soul cast in my mind should have been the one hitting, but as a duelist, you don't typically want to do that. Okay, so they lose the round. We go into a force. A force from Liquid. And they will be pushing A with all 5. We did see a little bit of this from G2. Don't forget, we did see a little bit of this from G2. And if you go really fast, it kind of counters the... If you go really fast, it counters the loss of going like this slow non-defaulty style where you saw what G2 did with Mixwell peeking B main or A main or whatever and getting this info and ending up being able to rotate really early. And again, you could still lose if you have all the information in the world. You still have to execute nicely. Nice. Remember what Artist did on the last time when he came up here? He pushed through. You remember that, right? He pushed through the smoke just briefly, so Mixwell will be able to clap him if somebody did end up doing that. Just to clear that close angle and establish a little bit more control. Nobody's going to peek through the smoke. That's the idea. Okay, so we got smokes. Oh, this is just... 3 people get flashed! 3 people! And they're through ramp. Hello, Link? Hello? Oh, this slow is so nice. So he threw a slow on ramps, and he threw a slow back left. So hard to peek out of maps now. So hard to peek out of maps. Yeah. So that was a 5v5 full retake. I mean, that just comes down to full execution. He had a just one flash through from, what was it, Heaven? I want to see where Ballatw threw that from. Because that was really solid. Yeah, from Heaven. Flashes through elbow. What do we have? From Mixwell, we have a dash across. Yes. Dash across into the slow because this is smoked. Same type of idea, except full clearing this and holding ramp. Because they know for sure that there's probably going to be people holding ramp. Also, the fact that Mixwell holds this kind of prevents these guys fully from crossing back. Because they don't have full control over Heaven, over that smoke. They don't know if there's somebody going to be peeking out. They don't know if there's spam or anything like that. So it does kind of prevent them from getting stuck in here. And that's what you want to kind of do, is use utility to keep them in, or position to keep them in. Artist swings wide. We have one person coming out this way to help the swing onto elbow. After the flash is Ballatw, and Zeke swinging wide with Mixwell and peeking into sight with Artist as well. So... yeah, I am Hen. Yes, I am. Okay, look at this. This wall not being broken tells them all they need to know. It tells them literally all they need to know. The fact that that wall is not broken tells them everything. We have Artist rotating. Zeke almost rotated as well. Scream rotates to be a bit more of an anchor against Ballatw. Look at the info. Even Zeke is just leaving it. He's saying, okay, whatever. Look, Pith has a camera that's going to watch both things at the same time if there is a TP play or anything like that. But they know everything. Yeah, they could be coming through B main. They could be. But we already saw smoke. We already saw all this different stuff from Liquid.
The second peak comes through, 37 HP for him now, so he's got to be careful. No heal available for him.
Yeah, Artist hasn't been over here super early, so they've got to know some big rotations have already come in. This was no...
They have 4 people against this. They lost the last time they had 4 people against this, but I think this is a better setup. Yes, Mixwell dies. We have Zeke on the corner. He's going to peek him. He trades. Good. Look at this, though. Zeke now runs to site and makes a crossfire with Ballatw as they try to run across in the site. Look at this. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Because the one wall was broken, they get 4 people on site. Don't forget, too, like, it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world if they actually are coming through B main. If they faked a little bit of info and are coming into B main. Sure, don't forget the big rotate that they're going to have to do. The huge rotate that they're going to have to do. And they're playing Cypher. There's a lot of delay here. There's a lot of opportunities for Zeke or Pith to get a kill and back off. So it's not the end of the world even if they do gamble off of that. But Patatek in this spot, sure, you guys are all thinking, oh, he should have been checked, like Liquid, such bots. But no, like the reality is, yes, probably they should know that there's going to be a lot of people here because they didn't break the wall down mid, but they don't even have the information that that wall's going down mid. They should, because it's happened twice now. But either way, it's like, okay, usually there's 2 at A, max 3 people. If we spot 3 people, we're done clearing stuff. That is the mentality that goes through, because not only is it like, it's not even habitual. It's just, there's 3 people. I already have to deal with them. It's so hard to clear at the same time as that. Don't forget, Zeke was on this angle. Okay? So if you're crossing this, I'm still looking here. If I'm anybody else, and I've already seen 3 people. We killed Mixwell. We've seen Artist Heaven. And then we've seen Zeke here. Like, yeah, man. I'm not gonna be checking that. There's no chance. That's what's gonna happen. That's what the gambles allow you to do. You can put people into these really uncomfortable, really, really baity setups, and it will win rounds just like that. Straight up, just like that.
Absolutely. Again, it's huge, but he finds the third as well.
The dash on the smoke, yep. The dash on the plant. Scream has been using that, by the way, on this half. Just didn't use it this time for whatever reason.
Find that first kill.
Once again a wall, and once again an aggro peak. And don't forget, the last round they just hit A, so it's kind of like, okay, they're probably not going to hit A. This is like default, like this is basic calling based off of like what you would do in ranked, man. It's like, okay, they're not going A. Let's use this mentality to just let's just push A, see if it's true. Patatek, one smoke, he pushes through it. Are you serious? Are you serious? The wall's still not getting pressured, pushing on to B, like. Oi, oi, oi.
This is a big round here.
Okay, they have ults. They're going to flash and dash. This is still very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
Let's see how much damage that gets out of it. Soulcast gonna fling.
There's no chance Mixwell gets out of this. No. Soulcast literally on top of him with the freaking showstopper. My man's out of there. He's out of there. This slow, brutal. Everything is brutal.
Staying on that site as well, playing around the pillar. And now the 2 players left for Liquid are not in a great position. Yeah, Soulcast super isolated, and Zeke finds him so quickly, leaving Link on that mid lurk, now feeling irrelevant to the site hit itself because the spike didn't go down. And now
by the way, we did finally see this idea of Link TPing over the wall. So, and they're still aware. But if that came a little faster, I wonder if that would have caused some damage. You know? People don't spam this side of the wall enough, by the way. At this point, like, G2's like just doing whatever, man. Like, look at this. Look at this. Wall down mid. Finally, they're gonna be able to pressure it. But Artist is like, yeah, fuck it, dude. Let's push B main this time. Last time they pushed A main. Did they even flash? Did they flash it? That kind of gives it up sometimes.
Soulcast and Scream performed very well, but in terms of that support role.
Yep, they flash it. Soulcast gets flashed. He goes back into Ramen. Look at all the control they just took because of one nade. Because instead of what Zeke was doing, which was kind of shouldering this with a slow.
Something that looked really good for Liquid.
Boom. Okay, there's a drone here. You got to be careful. Actually, I know what happens. This is hilarious. He tries to just to outplay the drone, bro. And then Patatek ults, by the way, all the way into spawn. When this stuff is happening, you know the game is wrapped. You know the game is wrapped. Is Liquid not good on Split? I'd say they're decent. They beat Summon FC on Split. Or Fnatic now. They beat Summon FC on Split. But, yeah, there's certainly... We remember Liquid losing to... Liquid lost to Heretics on Split. And they started off really strong. But they ended up succumbing to the same type of ideas where they stopped taking mid control. Scream was getting so many picks down into mid and playing aggressive like that. And this game, you can see that that's not happening either. Like, even on defense, he was just pushing down and, like, getting so much crap. And when they stopped that, they stopped getting information. It fell to the same type of ideas that G2 was able to push on them. This round is really bad. But we'll watch it. Like, hello? Is this real? How does this happen? No chance, bro. This is so nice, though. This is so nice. The freaking smoke. Wait, where did he smoke? He smoked the cross and then TP'd across even in the aftershock. And it's like, Crypt is like, what the hell? He's on top of me. That's crazy. But that first kill was just unforgivable. The kill that Pith got onto Patatech when he's planting behind the box. Like, oy vey. Oy vey. Well, that was G2 versus Liquid. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That really, to me, shows the power and importance of defaulting in general. Especially because you saw it on the attack side from G2 and how solid it was. Even though they weren't like, you know, really slow playing it. They weren't playing out of their minds on it. And then having these solid little executes. But then we saw defense from G2 where they're able to abuse a non-defaulty style. And the ideas that they had. Kept pushing little spots. The wall. Being able to add so much value to stopping these types of things. Just even when the wall is not doing anything, technically it's not doing anything, it's still valuable because they don't break it. That's information that you then can act on. So really solid. Guys, if you like that video, please like, subscribe, and do all the things on my social media, and we'll be back with more content just like this. Peace.